What's going on, internet? Welcome back to the URL versus IRL podcast. Happy Tuesday, or at least I hope it's Tuesday when you're listening to this episode. I need to stop saying the exact same thing in the intro because you guys are going to get confused and you're going to be like, I just listened to this episode. No, it's me literally being a fucking robot. But let me paint a picture for you for those of you that are not watching the video version of this podcast on YouTube. You might just be listening to audio. Today I'm in Los Angeles, California with a friend of mine that I've known for a little while now. Her name is Sonja, and I'm really excited for you guys to meet her today. I'm not going to lie to you. I could have done a lot of research on her on the internet, okay? But I chose not to because the two of us have been, I feel like, meaning to become friends for a couple of years, and it just never fucking worked out. And now we finally got coffee the other day, and now we're here. So I'm going to roll the intro music, and then I'll introduce you guys to her. You're tuning into URL versus IRL, hosted by Marie Lynch. You know what's so funny is I always play the intro music and I have like a little like card for the for what the episode title is and everything, but now I'm not gonna have it because now I have you dancing to the intro music.
This is the intro.
Welcome to the podcast.
Oh man, I'm so happy we get to just hang out and kick it. And
dude, same. We worked hard to make this happen. You guys, we worked so fucking hard. Literally, today is my last day in Los Angeles.
Last
Couple of hours. Literally, we were like, how are we going to fit this in? I was like, we have to wait until the next time I come back. You were like, there's going to be a way. Like, for
we'll
sure.
make it happen. We'll make it happen.
I'm literally leaving from your house to go to the airport later.
Yeah.
And you're taking me to the airport.
And you say later as in like a couple of hours.
Yeah, literally
we're
a couple
gonna be
hours.
leaving.
Yeah, literally. I'm excited to be here with you though.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to my my place, my office.
Thanks, dude. It's such a cool little office. I feel like you have it set up so well. And to be honest with you, what's crazy is when we were originally gonna film in your living room, I was like, it's a little echoey in here, but like I have directional mics, no big deal. And then we walked in here and I was like, girl.
You're like, wait a second. She saw the neon and she's like, wait.
I was like, wait a second. Actually, you're a gamer, so like, of course you would have a cool office. Speaking of which, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, where do I start? I mean, I originally started in the whole content creation situation 2013. I started streaming on Twitch, and it was like a year after Twitch became Twitch, basically.
Whoa, you were early.
Yeah, lucky strike. It was like Justin TV, and then the next year it was Twitch, and then I started.
Whoa.
But yeah, I was streaming for, I mean, I still kind of stream, sort of.
When was the last time that you streamed?
A year and a half. But like, who's counting? Who's
I mean,
counting?
your followers, but that's it.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I started streaming on Twitch, and I was on that content grind for a long time, streaming anywhere from like 3 to, I don't know, 8 hours a day, like 6 days a week, and then I would cut 2 videos from it. So I kind of grew my Twitch and my YouTube at the same time.
Okay, smart.
Yeah, and then it kind of afforded me different opportunities to do vlogs and struggle through trying to be on camera. And then through forcing myself to be on camera for that amount of time on Twitch, it got me just way more comfortable being on camera.
I was going to say, you have to be comfortable if you're spending like hours on camera and people are watching you live. You can't fix anything later.
No, gotta be on. There's no fixing in post. You just gotta like roll with it. So I started to get more opportunities with hosting and being on camera and interviewing and just doing anything part of a production that I could, basically. And then once I started doing more vlogs and people were still following me from gaming while I was doing vlogs, I was like, well, I've shared so much about my passion in gaming, but I also love cars a lot, so why don't I start doing car content? And I covered a couple of rally events which I had never been to before.
Heck yeah.
And it just kind of grew from there, and then started doing car content, and here we are.
Wow.
And then we met through, I guess, car content in some kind of way.
Yeah, but really Colette was like driving to get us to be friends. She was trying to get us to be friends for so long. She was like, you have to meet Sonja. You have to meet Sonja. She was telling me the day that she was going to, I think, teach you how to drive stick in her car.
She taught
in the fucking parking lot.
She taught me in Ryan Turek's tow truck.
Oh, that's right. It's like a big ass dually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a Ram 2500 or whatever it is.
I borrowed that truck when I was buying furniture for my apartment. And she took my Mini Cooper for the day. It was like such a major switch. It was ridiculous.
It's funny how we were just like adjacent circles.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe we never ran into each other, but I think that was because that was like, I moved in 2019, but like I was in my apartment during the pandemic. So I think that that's part of the reason why, because like finally once I got settled and I was like, oh my God, cool, now I can like walk around and do whatever I want here. And then it was like everything's shut down.
Yeah.
Stay inside. And I was like sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
But we were just like so close.
Yeah.
We were like on the edge of being friends.
Yes.
For so long.
So long. And then I think we met finally at an automotive event. I think it was a magazine release of my
Yeah, that was at the Peterson.
Yeah, and it was like literally we were both on a panel, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Bree. Finally, nice to meet you."
And we were wearing
following you for years.
we were wearing the same shoes.
Yes, that's right. The Fila's, right?
Yeah.
The white ones. Yep.
Yeah, that's my go-to. That's my daily driver.
Same. I love those ones.
They're so comfy.
They are so
Fila,
good.
please sponsor both of us.
Yeah, I would love that so much. Thank you so much.
Anyway.
Okay, so as I said, I did no research about you on the internet. Did you have like a viral moment on the internet? Or like, okay, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think I heard a rumor that you were like the largest female streamer on Twitch.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. How does that feel?
Which was crazy. I think looking back on it now, in the moment, I was just like on the grind and I just it didn't really register. But yeah, looking back on it now, I'm like,
did you have a viral moment or was it like a slow burn?
I mean, my biggest thing was when I started streaming, it was horror games and I would do League of Legends, basically, and Counter-Strike.
There's horror games. I don't play any kind of video games by any means. I have so much trauma from them. So I don't know anything about video games. There's horror video games?
There is. And also, I'm putting a pin in this for everyone. Oh, also, this is Gonzo.
He
might pop in and out, but
love him.
We're going to make a gamer out of Brie. So we're working on that in the background.
I know. I was telling you earlier, like I was like, I can play Kirby sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And now there's going to be a Powerpuff Girls video game out, and I can't wait.
She can't wait to stream it.
Oh my God, I can't.
For everyone.
Girl, stop. Oh my God.
But yeah, I started on those games, and then I was doing the thing that kind of got me a lot of attention and blew up a little bit was I did a Minecraft series.
Oh.
So it was me and 3 other content creators, and it was in an ecosystem where like a handful of people were doing like let's plays and like playing through levels or like doing certain challenges and stuff, but we basically created a world called Mayanite, and we would stream very regularly, and then like once a week or a couple times a week or something, we would all get together and stream at the same time. So it was 4 of us just streaming simultaneously so people could watch like other people's point of views.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
we built like a whole world, and we'd like prank each other, and then we kind of had a rule like not to fuck with each other like too hard, like we're not gonna blow each other's bases up or anything.
Right.
But I think it was like every so often we would do something called the Purge, and basically we would gear up and then we would all fight. So we had like little mini series within
They have a movie called The Purge, don't they?
Yep.
Okay, so like that. Okay.
Inspired.
Got it.
But yeah, Mayanite it was something special. It was just something that was ongoing and people loved the story. And we had like 1 season of it. And then for the 2nd season, we actually hired like Minecraft world builders and story builders. So they built like a whole story for us to follow. And like we're all streaming together and like following this story. We like hired people to jump on the server and pretend to be certain characters.
Shut the fuck up.
We like amped it up for the 2nd season. But yeah, I think Mayanite, a couple of the people that I was streaming with also had like a pretty large following.
Okay.
So we all kind of like built together, and everyone's like, who's the girl? And like I kept hearing like a girl voice, and they're like, who's the girl there? So I feel like that gained me a decent amount of popularity, and I think that's kind of where things started initially.
Wow. Holy shit. I didn't even think about the fact that like that's literally a male dominated field, which I don't know how I didn't think about that, because like so many people are like, girls don't play video games, but like some of them do.
Yeah. I wanted to make them originally. We were talking like just before we started streaming.
Yeah.
I originally went to college for programming and coding because I wanted to develop video games. But
Yeah.
yeah, when that happened and kind of the Minecraft spike up, I remember, I think out of the top 100 people followed on Twitch, I think maybe 9 were women at the time, and then in the top like 10 or so, I think there was only 2. And then
Whoa.
her and I were like very close in followers, and then at one point, I remember people in my chat were like, "Oh, you just passed so and so," and blah blah blah, and I was like, "What?" I wasn't even
Really?
something I was paying attention to. Like, I didn't care about it. I just like streaming for me was I was just blowing off steam after like working, and I just wanted to hang out and like play games and connect with people.
Wow.
But yeah, and then I ended up being like the most followed woman on the platform for a while.
Whoa.
But yeah, that's long gone now.
I mean, you were a pioneer though, so I feel like that has to
I
like
was
stand
just
for something.
really early, honestly.
Yeah.
Just
Holy
really early
shit,
to the
dude.
game. But yeah, and then I'm happy to see that like now there's a lot of women who stream.
Yeah.
A lot of girls that play games, a lot of girls that are hanging out on, and like a lot of massive streamers too that are women,
Heck
which
yeah.
is awesome.
Do you feel like there's like a reason that girls don't generally play video games like right off the bat?
I wonder. Because for me, it was like my grandpa just had a computer in his basement, and I was just curious about it.
Really?
It was something that I just thought was like so interesting. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just like where you get drawn to
Yeah.
and stuff. I
feel like maybe there wasn't like games necessarily geared towards girls back in the day. I mean, back in like, the 90s and stuff when like we were growing up. I feel like there wasn't really anything like super geared towards girls. But again, I'm not a video game person by any means. So like I wouldn't really know. I do know that I used to like Crash Bandicoot. And that was
Hell
about it.
yes. I do love Crash Bandicoot. I mean,
I've been
there's
trying to figure out where I can play that now.
gotta be like Xbox has to have some sort of like retro game, like throwback. I don't know. They have to have something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, I'm going to get home when I get off of this flight later on, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to look this up, and I'm going to try to find it.
You're gonna look up that and then the release date of the Powerpuff.
Of the Powerpuff Girls video game, yes.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't wait for that to come out. Oh my gosh. How long did it take you to become a full-time content creator?
It was pretty quick after because I was so early with Twitch, we knew a lot of like contacts at Twitch. So I got really early into like the early days of their partnership program. So I got partnered probably sooner than I should have. But also I was gaining like a pretty big following pretty quickly. So I got partnered really quickly. And then I think it got to a point at that time I was working at Canadian Radio Shack. Basically,
That's right, because you're from Canada.
Yep, and it's called The Source. So
Okay.
I worked at basically Radio Shack, and it got to a point where what I was making on Twitch and YouTube was about the same as what I was making in retail.
What?
And I was like, bro, if I just quit and like full send into doing this, like
Yeah.
I could actually pay my bills.
Oh my god.
So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Goodbye Radio Shack. And yeah, I just started doing it full time, and it's been since I think I made enough to support myself the year after, so it was like 2014 is when I went full time.
Oh my god, literally 1 year is wild.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it was definitely a right place, right time.
Were your parents like, what the fuck are you doing?
My dad does not. I don't even think he understands still to this day what I do. And like, to be real, I barely understand. So I'm like, I get it. They were like, as long as you're happy and like you're paying your bills, like go ahead. Like,
Did you ever like become hyper aware of the fact that you were like one of the only girls doing it? Did it like make you feel any kind of way?
I feel like I would, at least at the time, I was definitely more self-conscious in some ways, where I feel like a lot of women, especially at that time, got a lot of hate for maybe like over-sexualizing themselves or, wearing like a low-cut shirt or something, which like I've never had a problem with, and I personally don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever makes you feel like hot and confident, and like get your bag. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think at the time I felt like because of where I was at on the platform, that I wanted to be, I don't know the best way to put it, like a better face on the platform. So like I refused to wear tank tops. I would always wear t-shirts. I would wear sweaters.
Good for you.
I would like almost desexualize myself.
Do you feel like that was just on Twitch, or was that like forever?
Just on Twitch.
Okay, just on Twitch.
I mean, I guess it kind of bled into real life, where I almost became uncomfortable with myself being like dressing in a way that made me feel like hot. And that's actually, now that I'm realizing, I think it's taken a long time for me to like get over that, because I didn't want people to just follow me for that. I wanted people to not see me in that way. But like now I'm like, why would I care about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I felt like it just created more problems with myself and the way that I viewed myself.
You know, not to make this about myself, but I feel like it's so interesting to me that we've never had this conversation with some of the sit downs that we have had and like getting lunch and stuff, because I also have always been like that, where like I used to always, I don't know, I mean, if you've ever like really scrolled through my Instagram, but everything was always like oversized hoodie, baggy sweatpants, like baggy pants, baggy shorts, baggy everything. And I think that that became like a part of my personality. And I think I talked about this, maybe you guys in like one other episode before or something, but basically like when I was a kid, the reason that I started like wearing baggier clothes was because when I was a kid and I was racing motocross, I used to get a bunch of people making fun of me, saying like, oh my god, you're gay, you're a lesbian, whatever, blah blah blah, because I was one of the only girls doing it. And so to prove to people in school that I wasn't gay, I would tell them that I was borrowing my boyfriend's hoodie. So it was always like the oversized, like super big, like 6'2" guy. Not, my boyfriend's like literally 5'5", but maybe 5'7". I'll give him 5'7". Sorry, Josh. He's gonna be like
thanks,
helping me listen to this episode. And he's gonna be like, I'm 5'8", but he's
like 5'7.5".
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, I started like lying to people when I was in school, saying that, and that was my reasoning for wearing baggy clothes, and then it like later became a part of my personality. And I feel like when I started doing automotive content, I don't know, I think that like I never understood like doing my makeup just to get dirty, you know? And I felt like that was like a weird, like unrealistic like expectation to have for a girl in a garage. Like I was like, maybe like mascara and like concealer or something, but like nothing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I also don't know how to fucking do my makeup in the first place, but I also think that like, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to be like comfortable, but like also be realistic, because for some reason I always have had this like hyper obsession of like making things realistic for people rather than like making them seem like this,
like doing it up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, literally that's what this whole fucking podcast is about. But, yeah, that's interesting to me that I never even like realized that. But I think that like for me, even though we followed each other on the internet for a while before we actually met each other, like I don't know, I think that I get really weird with like feeling like I'm following somebody and I know everything about them, or like I don't like tend to like super stalk people on the internet. Like I'm just like, whatever, if like somebody told me like, oh, this is my friend, whatever, she's really cool, I'm like, cool, click, you know what I mean? And I try not to like do too much, but like I'm so surprised that I never realized that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's probably because you don't do that.
I've gotten better now, but I think it has taken a while for me to feel like comfortable like that. And there's still times where like I'll put on a dress or something and like objectively it's a hot ass dress and it looks cute. But like there's something about it that like maybe I don't feel fully comfortable with it. But yeah, when I think about it, I mean, 2 male dominated fields. Yeah. And I definitely felt that when I was in computer science, where I would be in classrooms of, and like even all of high school, I took every computer elective I could. I took like networking, I took hardware, I took like everything.
Oh my god, big nerd.
I was just fascinated. I thought that was so cool. And like we were at like the beginning of the internet. Yeah. So I was like, I just wanted to be a degenerate for the rest of my life. But I was in a class of like, I don't know, 35 kids, and it would be me and like one other woman. So I feel like dressing in a way that made me feel hot and confident would also make me stick out and make me
a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember I had like a SQL exam or something. We had to basically build a website that had a database of stuff. Okay. That was like the whole concept. So I decided to do it on like something like fashionable. I did it with clothes, and I did it with shoes and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But so I was presenting we had to go up in front of the class, and like our website is up on, a projector, and we need to talk through it and say like what we did and like what code, like talk through our website. And like as soon as I was presenting it with like shoes and like girly things,
Yeah.
I could hear like people giggling and like laughing at me
Shut up.
in the classroom. And I was like, so I felt like maybe anything I could do to make myself just not stick out and not be a target that way. I think that's probably where it started. And then Twitch kind of exacerbated it with, women being targets for dressing sexy or dressing like confident. You know what I mean? So I think it kind of carried into that.
That's fucked though, because I feel like, I don't know, something that I have tried to learn over the years of like growing up is that what makes me different is actually my superpower. It's not what is going to make me stick out and be like a target. Because I feel like for such a long time, I think another thing with me racing motocross was like I was one of the only African American kids doing it. And then I was also a gymnast, and I was like one of the only African American kids in that. And like it just made me so uncomfortable in my own skin because I knew that no matter what I did, I was sticking out like a sore thumb. But then when I started working as a stunt driver, I was like, oh my God, this is literally the reason that I'm getting work. Like suddenly, like I was like, because I don't look like everybody else, these other people can't fill the spots that I'm filling. So now this is suddenly like my superpower in a sense.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I like had to start thinking about it like that. But that's so crazy that we have that in common. Because I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I think that that's really something that you only run into with like, I think it's a common theme for like women in a male dominated field. Because they either go one way or they go the completely opposite way. But that's fucked. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that at least it feels like it's changed a bit. Like it feels like, I mean, at least for me, like like I said, it's taken a while for me to feel more like I don't have to dress like boyish, or I don't have to dress like, I don't know. It feels like it took me a while to get over that.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I just want to dress in a way that makes me feel like confident or makes me feel like hot. Maybe not today, but like
That's okay. We're doing a podcast, girl.
Dude, I'm comfy.
I'm in a fucking sweatsuit right now.
But yeah, I feel like it definitely took a little bit to get over, but I'm hopeful that it's, with more women in industries that are more male dominated, I feel like it's a little more saturated, or at least it gives you an opportunity to not fully stick out, or at least have like the support of other people.
Exactly. I feel like sticking out is okay, but being a target is not. You know what I mean?
And I feel like at the same time I was also dealing with, I had like a lot of panic attacks, and I had a lot of like really bad anxiety, so I feel like being a wallflower was like my goal.
Do you think that like having anxiety came from having like a platform like that and like streaming and like having people watch you all the time?
No, it was way before that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
There's so many, I'm sure, like good things about you streaming. Did you have any like bad stuff that came with streaming?
Yeah. I think having a lot of eyes on you, for better or for worse, can also come with its challenges.
How many followers did you have? Do you know?
On Twitch?
Yeah.
750,000, I think.
Whoa.
I did not make it to 1 million. Yeah, I think having a lot of eyes on you, two things. I think it can come with a lot of pressure. If you are having a day where you don't feel like you want to stream and you don't want to be on, it's like, this is like my full-time income.
Right.
Like I can only skip it for so long. And it can get pretty draining. And I think throughout the last couple years, and well, I've been dealing with it for a while, I've had on and off issues with people who I think they take a parasocial relationship a little too far. And I mean, in the past, I've had people show up to my house. I've had people go through my garbage. I've had people like follow me at conventions. I've had like an ongoing issue with someone who would email me 3 times every single day for like 2 years. Like, it comes with people who can't separate what they like see online and their feelings, and they don't see like that barrier. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So it's compromised a lot of my safety and like feeling comfortable. And I'm always which I feel like you should, PSA for anyone doing content, is just being so careful with what you post, like when you post it. Like when I had an incident where someone showed up to the house, it was because like someone was vlogging in like the area and they like happened to show a street sign and then like a photo from our backyard. It like they found out, like they looked at the houses and the hill and they like figured out like where our house, like people, what's his name? Rainbow, the guy who does GeoGuessr.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
No.
Do you know what GeoGuessr is?
No.
It's a game, I guess, where they show you like a very small part of a random place in the world on Google Maps.
Okay.
And there's people that, as a game, they try to guess where in the world it is. And there's someone, I'm gonna send you him after this because it is like unbelievable. Where he'll see like a patch of grass and be like, "Oh yeah, that's Tarzania or something," or be like, "Oh, that's like East India," or like he'll know exactly where it is. So like
that's psychotic. He needs to work for like the FBI.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
There's always the joke that people are like, "Man, if like Google Maps or something goes down, at least we've got Rainbow. Like he can like help us help us figure it out." But like there's people who can do that and they have the time and they're like, something's just not right and they will do it. They'll find it. Like look,
that's
like
crazy.
I would post stories and someone would be like, they were really obsessed with like a previous relationship I was in, and I would be like driving to his house and I'd see like a funny street sign or something and like post it, and then he would email me within like 5 minutes and he would be like, "Oh, you're on this street, you're heading towards this guy's house, like blah blah blah, like, oh, I hope you have fun like doing like blah blah blah." Like really like some people are just,
oh my god,
something's not right.
I'm not literally trying to compare or like make this about me by any sense, but it's so crazy like how many things we have, I feel like, in common, or that like content creators, no matter how big or small, let me tell you, because my account was not nearly as big as your. What do you got on Instagram right now? Do you know?
I've been slowly hemorrhaging, but I think we've hit a plateau at 370,000.
That's fucking wild. Okay, listen, my Instagram ended at 30,000. Okay, so no matter how big or small, I also have had an instance where somebody found my house that I was living in, and this is like my dad's house that I lived in for like in and out of there for like 10 years when I lived in California. Somebody found my house because there was one time that I was shooting in my garage. I was shooting content, and they were able to see the outside of my garage because I had to go outside and pick something up. And I was always very careful about only shooting inside. But the person that was shooting that video for me had turned around and followed me. And in the video, you could see the outside of the house. The guy rang my fucking doorbell. Yeah. And was like, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. I follow you on Instagram." And like, I wasn't trying to be super weird, but I was just like in the area.
You just made it super fucking weird.
He was like, "I was just like in the area and just like wanted to let you know like how I figured out where you live." And I was like, "What?" And then there was another time.
Oh my god.
Where I posted a picture. I was traveling. Everybody posts a fucking flight map, whatever. Somebody found out exactly what flight I was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid of that.
Yeah.
Whenever I fly, like I will post the flight map, but I'll do it like after I am like landed in my hotel, or like not.
Oh, also there was one time I had a video that went like a little viral on my YouTube channel because I saw Daily Driven Exotics car outside of my hotel, and I took a picture from the outside of my hotel, like off of my balcony, downwards, top view of their car. Somebody knew exactly what hotel I was staying in. Yep.
It's not hard.
No, it's really not.
So, yeah, I feel like that's been a byproduct of all of that. Dealing with all of that is, like, I'm so conscious with what I post and when I post it. And, like, even...
Do you do the thing where, like, when you vlog, you wait until you're, like, way on the highway after you get past where you live? Yeah, same.
Oh, for sure. Even, like, posting stories and stuff like that, if you ever see a story that I post, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
I will guarantee you
do like, a day later?
There. Yeah, usually. Or, like, at night or something.
Yep.
But... I will say, I after dealing with everything that I've dealt with in that realm, like, I am so hyper aware and so, like, just self-conscious about what I'm posting.
Yeah.
That I just want to feel safe.
Does it ever make you want to like get off the internet?
Oh yeah, I feel like every other month I like have I want to get the fuck out of here moment. But I will say, like, one of the issues that I was dealing with for the last like 3 years, I just got a restraining order like maybe a couple months ago, very recent, and I feel that having that has given me like a sense of peace.
Yeah, but that only lasts for so long.
Yeah. But I feel like it was enough to send him a message that like you like fuck off.
Yeah,
you
cross
know?
the line. Yeah.
So I think he's gotten the message, and I do feel a sense of peace again. And it's over the last couple months, it's taken me a bit to get back to myself and feel more comfortable, because it's something that was constantly chewing at me for like 2 years.
Holy shit.
I would
dude.
always have to see it, but I think that's also part of the reason why I want to stream again, because now I feel like I can. I felt like for so long I felt like I couldn't, because it's like I need to be so aware of like what I say, and like I know that like they're gonna show up in chat, and like it's like just a constant, just something chewing in the background at all times.
Oh my God.
But I'm feeling better now.
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm feeling a little better about opening up more and sharing again in a conscious way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's taken a little bit to get past that. But I'm excited to stream again. I've genuinely missed it, and I feel a little more clear and able to actually stream.
Yeah, you were talking about possibly streaming over the weekend, but that didn't happen this weekend.
Which weekends?
This
weekend. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah.
No, last weekend. I remember we had this conversation the other day, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about streaming this weekend," and I was like, "Good for you, yay!"
Yeah, I don't know what it is now. It just takes me so much to convince myself to do it.
Really?
But I know once I start, it's
Literally,
like,
your whole fucking setup is right here.
Yep. It's literally ready to go.
You guys, you can't see this, but literally, she's got like a podcasting mic. What is that? A fucking Shure microphone?
I think that one's Logitech.
It
the
looks
Sona
like,
mic.
Yeah, she's got 2 fucking headphones. She's got a dual monitor. Her fucking camera's right here.
Yeah,
like,
I'm set up.
So set up.
Yeah, I think it's just a mental thing where I know that I'm gonna have to be on for like 4 hours or something.
Do you get like self-conscious of your voice at all?
Hearing it back, yes. I will still. I've been doing content it's been over 10 years. But streaming is fine because it's just like one way.
Yeah.
And I don't have to listen to it back.
Yeah. Cool. What else do people do on Twitch? I just know Twitch is like literally just a gaming platform. Do people do other stuff there?
Yeah. I mean, people cook. They like cook on Twitch. People DJ. They do like full DJ sets. I've actually seen, and I am an advocate, and I'm here today to convince anyone who does car content, including Bree, we need more car content on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
There are people who, shout out Jake and Bake, who do like IRL streams where they're just doing stuff like out in the wild. He streams a lot in Asia, just like walking around, going to restaurants and stuff.
Oh,
but
shit.
He has also done stuff at tracks. So he'll do like in car, like driving a Lexus, whatever, around like Laguna Seca. So he'll do like track stuff, car stuff. Yeah, I'm advocating for people to do more car content on Twitch.
That's dope. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Fun. That's nice how it's funny because the whole platform started as Justin TV, which was just like the wild west of streaming. You could stream anything.
Yeah.
And then they honed in on gaming. And like now they've slowly opened it back up again. So people just stream whatever.
Wow.
A lot of people do just chatting.
What?
It's literally a category called just chatting. And you're just chatting on Twitch, hanging out. It's this.
Shut the fuck up.
But just on Twitch.
Oh my God, stop. That's crazy. Maybe one day.
Am I convincing you? Or?
Yeah, you kind of are. I mean, like, I don't know. I have my simulator set up, which actually I'm going to end up having to talk to you about because I need the fucking driving components. That's all I need. Everything else is done. The computer's built. I have my screen set up. I have the frame. I have the seat. I just get option paralysis even thinking about what I need to buy because I don't understand what I'm looking at, you know, because like I'm not a techie person by any means. Like you should have seen me try to start the fucking podcast. Like I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. Side note, my first podcast I ever did was with these little, like, have you ever seen like the wireless like lavalier mics by Rode?
Yeah, I have them. Yeah,
I literally used those for my first podcast.
Yeah,
and I was just like, fuck it. Like,
my first stream ever, I had my webcam stacked on a bunch of sticky notes because I didn't have like anywhere to put it, like where I wanted it properly.
Shut the fuck up.
And I was on like a like the fold out metal like Walmart chairs.
Yeah.
I had that because that was my only option because I was broke, and I just like threw some pillows on it, and I was like, good enough. And then I had a laptop that overheated, and it would like burn my hand after using it for so long, and I like humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Oh my God.
So I feel you.
Listen, for anybody that's like even thinking about starting to stream Twitch, there's your answer right fucking
Just
there.
do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like you don't need a lot to start off. And I feel like also same thing like with the podcast. Like I literally had 2 like little wireless microphones. You could do a podcast quite honestly, probably from like your iPhone.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. You just have to start, and you don't always have to start with like all of the crazy best fucking equipment. Like you just have to get something to get yourself started, and then you can figure out if you like it or not.
Yeah. I think a lot of people hold themselves back because they're like, I don't have like the sickest computer, or I don't have like a sick mic or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
you don't need a fucking Shure mic, brother. Like you don't.
Just start.
Yeah. But also like if you're trying to get like, I don't know, I guess for like streaming specifically, like if you want to get a fucking microphone, you can get a microphone for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ones that I'm using right now are like $100 each.
Yeah. Technology's come so far.
Mm-hmm.
The whole jam back when I started was the blue snowball. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know blue microphones?
Yeah.
They made one, it was called the Snowball, and it was like $60 or something, and it's just like this round, you can get like crazy colors and stuff like that, and it had a little tripod on the bottom. Super simple, and like every streamer used it.
Really?
And it's like the Logitech C920, the webcam.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's very expensive,
Yeah.
and it's like the streamer like the streamer camera.
That's crazy.
Like you can start for very cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. You could probably even use your fucking iPhone if you really wanted to. I'm sure you could find a way to like
For real.
hook that up to it. Let's talk about your relationship with the internet a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you feel like it's been? I mean, like obviously you said you had some fucking weird people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as a whole, or lately, or
Yeah.
just in general.
I feel like it's a whole. Like, how did your, like, I don't know. I think streaming is such an interesting thing because that's like a whole other side of the internet that I'm not even familiar with by any means.
Mm.
Did you ever get, like, nasty people, like, in the comments section of your chat?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anything you do on the internet, there's going to be people who have opinions.
Yeah.
And who people who just, like, not everyone is going to like you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
No, like, not everyone is going to like you.
Yeah, true.
And I definitely had some, like, spicy comments on, I think, YouTube specifically.
My
Twitch?
YouTube audience was so nice to me.
Really?
They love me.
I feel like YouTube was generally 92% okay. But
Okay.
it was, and I'm sure maybe you feel the same way, where it's like the 8% or like the 2% of people that just leave shitty comments. Those are the ones that stand out. And I feel like I would let it bother me a little bit, but maybe not as much as most people. I just started to ignore it.
Good
I
for
would
you.
just block them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to like argue with keyboard warriors and like go back and like, I don't care. I don't have the energy for that. And clearly you don't like me anyway. So like,
yeah, so what's the point? I'm not going to convince you now.
I'm not trying to win you over. Like, whatever, move on. So
Yeah.
I'm very much block and move on.
Good for you.
Don't care.
Do you feel like it took you a while to get to that point, or did you just naturally, you were just like, fuck these people?
I think when I was starting, I maybe took it more personally because I was like, I'm just this little Canadian and I like video games. Like, what did I do to you?
Like,
Like,
a little Canadian, especially Canadians are so nice.
I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Sorry.
Like, so I feel like I did take it a little more personally at the beginning, but yeah, I think as I grew, I was like, I just, whatever.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
have
know.
the energy for it.
Yeah, I think I was trying to focus on just the more positives and the joy that I got from it and just the fun I would get from like sharing experiences and like vibing out on Twitch, and I just tried to focus on the more positive. But Twitch has always been way more kind, I think.
Okay, good.
I don't know if like maybe it's because the moderation is just like better. Like you can kind of get rid of people on the fly, whereas like comments sometimes will like sit for a while and then you review it and you're like, oh, sucks. Like, ugh. But yeah, I feel like Twitch has always been really kind, and every time I'm always, oh, we're playing footsies. Wait, that was cute. Hold on. I feel like every time I haven't streamed in like a really long time, and then I go live, I'm always shocked at like I won't stream for like 8 months. And then on like a random Tuesday at like 5 p.m. I'm like, all right, guys, going live for the first time in like a year. And like still like a couple hundred people will still show up.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, what the
That's what happens to me with my YouTube videos. Like when I like set a premiere, everybody's like in the chat and I have at least like 100, 200 people and I'm like, oh my god, hi.
You're like, guys, you showed up. But it's crazy seeing like all the regulars. Like people who have been having like a sub streak, like have been subbed consecutively for now at this point, because I've been doing it for 10 years. People have been subbed for like 100 months or like some crazy ass number. And whenever it comes up in chat, I'm like, I don't even know what to say at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have been a part of my life for so long, and you have seen so many different like iterations and versions of myself and content and everything. And I'm like, and you're still here.
Yeah.
And I will just go live and people will still show up. And I just like, that's all, like, I'll cry every stream probably.
No, actually, shut up.
I feel like every stream back, I'm always like, it gets me because I'm like, what the hell? Like, people have just been part of this journey for so long.
I get really emotional about my audience too. Like a lot of the times, like every time after I feel like I've like uploaded a YouTube video and it's been like a while, and then I see like still gets like 1,000 plays or gets like 2,000 plays or like whatever, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, yeah. But then it makes me feel guilty. Do you ever feel guilty that you were like a part of these people's lives and then you like disappear for your own reason, and then you're like, oh shit?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a Discord.
Okay.
Which I think is great. Like if you're doing any kind of content creation and trying to grow, or if you have multiple platforms that you post on, I highly recommend a Discord. It's a nice like central location where you can just like link all of the stuff that you're doing, and like I just at everyone in the server whenever I go live or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like I still have like a central hub where people will, like, even my audience will post like when they're going live, like if because they stream too.
Yeah.
Or like we share car stuff, or we I have another channel that's just like life rants, so people will talk about like shit that's going on in their life. Or, you know, just the rant, like memes and shit, like, you know, it's just a nice place for people to connect. But I do feel guilty for, like, not being around as much now, considering how frequently I was around before. But also, like, life changes, people change, and, like, circumstances change, and, yeah, life gets in the way sometimes, but...
Do you ever, like, get mad at yourself for being a little burnt out and, like, not doing as much as you did before?
I don't get mad at myself for being burnt out. I think I've learned to be way more forgiving with myself now.
Okay, good.
But I do get mad at myself for just disappearing. I do get mad at myself for telling myself I'm going to stream and then not streaming.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't know why. Like, the mood just has to be perfect. I don't know why everything feels like it has to be perfect. Like, I gotta be, like, fed. I have to be caffeinated. I have to, like, I gotta do my makeup.
Yeah.
I gotta, like, stream has to be perfect. Like,
yeah.
I overthink it so much.
Okay.
But I know that once I start, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's getting over that mental block that I put there for myself, you know? But, yeah.
Do you feel like the car community has been any better to you than your video game community? Like, which one did you prefer audience-wise?
I mean, the gaming community was just like my bread and butter. Like, that's my home for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to do originally in my life. I always wanted to make games and just be in the game industry. Like, from the first time I went to E3, like, by some crazy circumstance.
What is that?
E3 is like an annual, well, they don't do it they just stopped it like 2 years ago, but
damn.
for the last, like, I don't know, 20 years, and they would have a convention every year in LA. And called E3. It was industry only, but they would basically all of the, like, Bethesda, Nintendo, like Microsoft would have a booth, PlayStation, like all of the big names would come there, and they would like have sneak previews of what they're about to release.
Oh, shut up.
So
that's cool.
It was so cool. And like I would watch it online all the time, and then I, like, by again, like, crazy circumstance, I got to go one year. It was like 2010 or 11 or something. I just knew that was my home. From that first time, I was like, this is the space I want to be in. I need to make this happen. Like, this is my home. But like I said, I've always loved cars. I got my license as soon as I could. I got a car as soon as I could, like the day that I could.
Yeah, you have some fucking cool cars right now. You want to tell people what you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun. The daily right now is the C6 Corvette, which has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
I had learned manual, I mean, thanks to Colette.
Yes, Colette.
But I've like learned periodically through like different people throughout my life, but I never had a manual car.
That's the ticket.
Yes.
That's literally the ticket.
That's what I learned. So I got that car because I wanted to learn and like do my own oil changes.
Yes.
And like just upgrade it and like learn.
Yeah.
And like learn manual
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's the daily right now.
Okay.
And then in 2018 I got a 2017 Nissan GTR, which has been fun.
Yeah.
That thing is fun as hell.
I'm sure. I'm like low-key sad we're not taking it to the airport.
I am too, because I rarely drive it now. But yeah, that and then I'm trying to think of when I did it, but I fell in love with a car in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Well, I went to Japan a couple years ago, and I went over with the intention of the yen was super, super low, and I'm like, I'm bringing something back.
Okay.
I'm doing it. And originally,
what the fuck did you get? I don't even know what this is.
Oh, well, originally I wanted to get an S15.
Okay.
And then I
cool.
was gonna buy it, store it in Japan until it was legal to bring over.
Okay.
And
smart.
then bring it over.
Smart girl.
But
Oh.
I went to Daikoku, which is like a big parking lot meet in Japan that
Yeah.
they have. It's like pretty popular. And I was there with a friend of mine, and I like ran into this car, and I was like, I literally like, ooh. I was like, it's so hot. And then I went to go talk to him and like have a chat. And he's like, yeah, if you're looking to get one, I actually know someone who's selling one that's like identical, like same color, same everything. And I was like,
What?
oh, interesting. So he sent me like a Yahoo auctions listing. And I was like, the price was crazy for what it was. And I'm like, all right,
The anticipation is killing me.
this is what I'm doing. And then it took so long I had to store it, I had to get it registered, and then ship it over. Shipping it took like ages, but I imported a 91 NSX, and that has been a dream that is collecting dust right now. But
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. I love NSXs.
it's just such a cool car.
Oh
It's
my
so
God.
hot.
What color is it?
Silver.
Oh, hell yeah. Getting back into streaming now, what are you most nervous about or most excited about?
Well, I recently got back into, if anyone is a gamer, I play a shitload of League of Legends, and they came out with a game mode that's called Teamfight Tactics.
Okay.
It's way too hard to explain.
Okay.
But basically you build your team and then you just fight another team.
Okay. That's not that bad.
But it's all like like it's strategy. It goes fucking deep. And I'm so far down this rabbit hole right now.
Really?
And I'm playing so much on my own time.
Yeah.
Like I would love to just stream it at this point.
Yeah.
If I'm already spending like 6 hours playing this game on my own, like I could just be streaming. But yeah, I think I'm just excited to play games again and like just have my community back.
Yeah.
Like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's once I can just get over whatever this like mental blockade is that's keeping me from doing it. Yeah, and I think I don't know if we talked about it off stream or off podcast or not, but I do feel like I am more of an introvert in the sense that my battery gets drained like so quickly. Like any kind of like social outing or something, I'm like, I need like a day to recover.
You're gonna be taking a nap after this.
Literally. So I've done it for so long, I should be fine, but I'm also just nervous about streaming for like a long period of time, being able to like keep up, and then if I burn out after like an hour.
Do you feel like you get like punished for not streaming for a long period of time?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. I think
So why don't you just jump in for like 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour?
What are you on
and,
my
like,
Discord?
Work yourself.
What is this?
It's an intervention is what the fuck this is.
You guys got to her.
They found me. No, I mean like what if you just like I don't know, jump in for like 30, 45 minutes at a time. I think that's something that like for myself with podcasting, for some reason, I think because I had a couple of episodes that would push into like 2 hours. I had some that would push into like 2.5 hours, whatever. For some reason, I like set this thing in my brain for myself that like I was going to have to be podcasting for that long. But I'm like, it literally doesn't actually fucking matter. Like, I could talk to somebody for 45 minutes, and if our conversation dies, then cool.
Yeah.
Then we're done.
I know. It's just these, like, not limits, but it's like these roadblocks that we just put up for ourselves, for sure. It's like...
Do you think it's just because you're trying to be better than you were the last time? Do you think it's like a personal...
No.
Oh, good for you, because I do that.
And it's not even about numbers, too. Like, I don't...
Oh my God, teach me.
Well, I think
fucking can't.
Once I hit, like, peak Minecraft streaming and I was getting, like, thousands of concurrent viewers, like, I'd have, like, 5,000-6,000 people, like, at once watching. And then I think once I was riding that out for a while, and then once I kind of started to watch it dip a little bit, that would hurt me a lot, to the point that before, Twitch actually added a feature where when you have your dashboard up, you can hide your viewers so you don't see it.
That's so
Before
nice.
they added that, I would literally put a sticky note over it because I didn't want to see it, because I would keep checking it and be like, people are leaving, like, what did I just do? Like, I would overthink it to the point that, like, again, now when I go live, I'm just shocked that even if 100 people show up, it's still like a lot of people, and it's like, it's crazy to think that people will still show up. But yeah, I just don't care about it anymore. I can't let it bother me. But
do you think before it was like affecting your mental health, like later on after you would turn the camera off?
Yeah, I think I would think about, like, again, like I was saying, like, what did I do that caused people to leave, or like maybe I shouldn't play this game, or like I'm trying to interact with people so much while I'm playing a game that, like, I lose the joy of playing the game. Like, there's certain games that I can't stream, like single player games where it's very narrative driven and I just need to, like, immerse myself in the game. I can't do it. You can't stream that. I mean, some people can. I can't.
Okay.
It needs to be games where, like, I play like a round of something and then I can, like, chill and chat in between or something.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say, I can't imagine, like, having to multitask while I'm playing a video game and also be able to talk to people. I mean, I would just be crying. Maybe I should play video games online. Maybe I'll gain a following because I'll just be crying the whole time.
Honestly.
I'll be like, oh yeah, she definitely is a Cancer. That's for sure.
Oh my God. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I just need to. I think for me, a good comparison is going to the gym.
Okay.
Like, being at the gym, you're like, okay, I'm here already. Like, I'll do these reps, I'll do this or whatever. But it's getting there.
Yeah, I can't go.
That's the hard.
I'm physically unable to go. I physically
you're
cannot.
Like, that's me.
For some reason, my car's not starting today.
That's me trying to stream.
Oh shit.
It's like convincing yourself like, once you're there, you're like, okay, I'm here, like, I'm doing the thing. Yeah. But it's literally that. It's being like, just do it.
Yeah.
And, like, telling yourself to go to the gym, it's like, like, you know?
Yeah.
But if you can get over that mental block, like, it's fine. But
how do you think that you, like, helped yourself, aside from, like, the sticky note of, like, not having your mental health be peaks and valleys because of numbers on the internet?
I think it was realizing that people will still follow no matter what. Like, the community that really cares is still there. And I feel like after having, like, such a big peak and then going to literally, like, 10% of it or something, or like 20% of it, like, I can't care. Yeah. I can't. Like, that's just gonna, it's gonna eat too much at me if I really, really cared about it. Yeah. So my focus is on the people who actually, like, still show up and, like, I'm just stoked to see, and the fact that I can still have a somewhat of a job on this internet and like still, continue to do what I do. Like, I'm just still super stoked that I'm able to do it.
Hell yeah.
So I just can't think, like I said earlier, I've been hemorrhaging followers on Instagram for fuck knows how long, but I do feel like I've hit a plateau. Yeah. So we'll see, but I don't know. But again, like, I just don't care.
I feel like maybe that's the way to do it, like, with the internet, because I feel like also for myself with helmet hair versus now having my Brie Lynch in real life account, and then also having URL versus IRL, like, I think that because I came from, like, a big platform and then I watched people go away. I lost, like, 10,000 followers after I sold my race car.
Oh, man.
By the way, yeah, it was rough. Like, I was like, oh, my God. And then YouTube, I'm, like, literally watching my subscriber count decline, like, every time I post something, especially now that I'm, like, posting the podcast on YouTube, because people weren't there for that. They're there for the automotive content. I'm like, I made it a separate playlist just because you're getting annoyed at the notification once a week. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but...
Do you feel like that affects you? Like,
oh,
when you
God,
think about
yeah.
it?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. If we talked about my mental health with the internet, which is hilarious because I think that, like, even though this whole podcast is about, like, the internet versus reality and, like, what things look like online versus what they look like in real life, I think that, like, for some reason I've been able to avoid talking about my own mental health with the internet and, like, what it's done to me mentally. But I think that, like, I just noticed that I noticed that I was a part of the problem when I made my Brie Lynch in real life account. And I think it's because, like, with my bigger account, which was helmet hair, I was like, okay, let me post something that's, like, not my race car. Because for some reason I decided, like, oh, I'm going to move over to, like, lifestyle content a little bit and, like, just post whatever the heck I'm doing. And people did not like that. And I would lose followers every time that I do it. And I was like, you guys suck. Like, I hate this. And then also because I was working with some sponsors that were, like, paying attention to numbers and engagement rate and all that kind of stuff, like, suddenly that became, like, uber important to me. And I was like, oh, I have to care about this. Even if I don't, they do. So I have to care about this or they're not going to want to work with me anymore.
Yeah.
So then once, like, I left helmet hair alone because I was getting so overwhelmed even trying to post on the platform. Like, I was, like, stressing out about the amount of likes that I would get. And then I was, like, stressed out and I was like, okay, my car's about to be, like, released in this magazine. Is this going to, like, match up? And then I would get invited as a collaborator for something. And I was like, what if this doesn't perform as well as it should? Or, like, is my audience even going to like this? And because I was so hyper aware of everything that I was doing on the internet. But yeah, it made me feel like shit more often than not, you know? Like, it just made me feel like shit more often than not. And I think that, like, for some reason, I don't know, getting, like, posting on the internet so often, like, I was just like, oh my God, I feel like I have to fucking keep up. And then my other problem was I was comparing myself to my friends that were also in the same space as me but had triple to quadruple my following. Yep.
That's comparison's the thief of joy. There's no good
that's a good
outcome.
One.
I wish I could claim that as my own, but
I've never heard that before.
I love it because it's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true. I feel like I would compare myself to people who were, like, of a similar genre and, like, doing a similar thing, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I definitely understand that on, like, a partnership level because like that's your income, like that's your business, right? And I can definitely relate where, like, if I have to do a sponsored post, I just know that it's not going to do as well.
Yeah. And like, that sucks because that's where your bread and butter is, literally. Yeah.
And I hate having to think about the algorithm, but like, and even like collab posts.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be, maybe like a year ago, if you asked me that, I would be, not like for this, but I mean, in general, I would think more about it to be like, how is this going to hurt my algorithm? Or how is this going to, like, affect, at this point,
and the algorithm,
I just had to let it go.
The algorithm is fucking wild because, like, if you post from the higher performing account and collab with the smaller performing account, it does fucking great. When you post from the smaller performing account to the higher performing account, it doesn't do fucking as good, which is crazy.
And
like,
then there's
why?
Instances where, like, that gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Where, like, I just collabed with shout out Bring Out the Gold.
Oh
I love his work.
That video was so sick that you posted.
It was cute. It's just like a lighting test, and we were just messing around and playing with lighting, and, like, again, it's not even car related.
Yeah.
But, like, it's funny because I feel like he has a smaller overall audience than me, but his engagement is so good. Like, we get probably around the same amount of views.
Wow.
But, like, sometimes mine will do worse, or sometimes, like, I have a couple that are, like, being like boosted, like whitelisted, so they get, like, way more eyes.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes he's very good at making, like, short form content that's, like, consumable, entertaining, like, quick and funny, and, like, he's really good at capturing attention, so like, his engagement was really good, and we just collabed on a post, and it did just as well as, like, any of my other posts.
Yeah, it's crazy that, like, it works that way. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand it. I've tried to give up on understanding it, but also, unfortunately, I am such a fucking numbers person that I'm paying attention. And I don't know if it's because this goes back to like my little chasing checkers days. My slogan for my clothing company back in the day was better than your last lap, which because
I
like
love that.
that was just like, you know, you're only trying to do better than yourself and what you just did the last time that you drove. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that was always my motto for my life as well, whereas like I was just trying to be better than myself yesterday. So unfortunately that shit carries over to the internet, which I cannot fucking control.
Yep.
You know,
I think that's a big part of it too, is realizing like what's within and without, like outside of your control. You know what I mean? Like I can control certain ways that I like make videos, I can control things, but you just can't, like once it's out there,
you have to let it go.
Yeah, I gotta let it go. It sucks, but yeah, that podcast I sent you too, I feel like that gave me like, again, for someone who like I try not to care about it, I was like, oh, like shares really matter.
Yes.
And like saves really matter.
I wrote that shit
and
down.
stuff like that. Like it's little things like that that I'm like, you have to think about.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, it's like I want to not. I mean, I feel like I've let go a lot, and I want to not care about it as much.
Yeah.
But
then we listen to a fucking podcast like that, and we're
I'm
like, now we know the
good
secrets.
Good point. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I gotta. Oh my god.
Did you ever get like a weird? Okay, this is me comparing myself to you again.
No, please.
So we're doing this entire podcast. Did you ever like get weird when people would follow you on the internet and then meet you in real life because you felt like your internet personality did not match your real personality, or is that just me being a psychopath?
A little bit, but
Okay.
also no, I'm kidding.
Got it.
2%.
I'm writing that down.
Yep. No,
Talk about
I
that in
don't.
therapy on Wednesday.
A sticky note on that one.
Shout out Mr. Josh, my therapist. Thanks so much. Love you.
Hit me up. I need you. No, I don't think it was like that my personalities didn't match. I think that when I'm streaming and I just see, I'll see like a couple hundred people or whatever, and it's just like usernames, and like no one's in the room with me.
No.
I don't think I equate it to like, oh my God, this many actual human beings are like actually watching me right now. So when I meet someone in real life, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're real.
Yeah, you're a real person.
Like real people are actually following me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of trips me out too.
I feel like I used to get that a little bit, but also like if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I follow you on Instagram," I was like, "Fuck," almost
Why?
immediately, because I think that I then felt like I had to perform for some reason. Like I was like, "You have an expectation of me. I don't know what kind of follower you are." So I don't know if you are an active follower or if you just follow me on the internet because somebody that you know knows me and they said that I was cool or like what it is. So like for me, I was always like, what kind of follower are you? Were you like excited to meet me because you follow me on the internet, or were you like, oh yeah, I already feel like I know her because I follow her on the internet kind of thing? Like, do you watch my YouTube videos? Do you feel like you know me already? Or do you follow me because of my car? Do you just expect me to talk about cars all the time? Do I do something different on the internet that I don't do in real life?
That's what I was gonna say.
And it changes it. Yeah.
I feel like, as a follower, I don't feel like your personality or how you present yourself is different than online. Like I feel like you're just you, and that's one of the reasons why I like you so much. Is because like you're just you're just free.
Thank you for saying that, by the way.
It's true.
I try my best to be like that, and I think that even back in the day, like on my helmet hair account, there was a specific little niche of my helmet hair account that like if people really gave a fuck about me, they would find that. And like I used to do this thing called Insomnia Squad, where like when I was up super late at night, this is because I was going through a breakup, by the way. Anybody that was like a part of Insomnia Squad, I was fucking depressed. But I used to do this like little Insomnia Squad thing where I would post like really motivational stuff like super late at night, and I would like jump on my story. It was kind of like before we had like close friends story. I was kind of creating my own close friend story. So only the people that were up at that part of the night would see it, because the next morning I would delete it immediately. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I wake up naturally very early, like 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. So you had to catch me between like midnight and 6 in the morning to even know what Insomnia Squad was, and everybody else like on the internet did not know what it was. It like was not a public part of my page. Like it was just on my story, and I would talk about whatever the fuck was going on, or I'd just be like very vulnerable. And I think that like I've tried to be extremely vulnerable on the internet because I was always so not like afraid of people judging me, I guess.
You had said that before too.
What'd you say?
Or like even off podcast, like how you used to be a little more introverted.
Yeah.
How you just didn't want to like, I don't know.
But I think that like from watching so many of my girlfriends get really bad internet comments, I was like, I don't want these people to think that I'm coming in here knowing everything. So I was very open about not knowing everything. Like I was like, I'm learning with you, you're learning with me, we're learning together. So I was very like vulnerable and like honest about like, I don't know everything, I don't this, I don't that, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I'm figuring this out right now. And I don't know if it's because I was trying to avoid the internet hate or if it's just because I was comfortable with being honest, you know? So I felt like I was like very vulnerable, but like also if somebody followed me, I was like, how much do you know me? Because are you an Insomnia Squad person?
Yeah.
Do you like see that part of me on the internet or you don't? And like, I don't know. I just didn't want somebody to feel like I was not what they expected, you know? And I think I like put a lot of weight in other people's opinions still to this day. This is turning into a therapy session. I feel like I still put a lot of weight into other people's opinions of me now. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't have like a ton of friends. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Or like, maybe it's because when I was younger, it was hard for me to make friends because I couldn't find people that I had stuff in common with or like whatever. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know.
Does it still, and it still affects you?
Today, yeah.
It's hard to let go. But I think knowing that whatever people think about you or whatever people like say or comments or anything like that, just knowing that like, again, everything besides this, I think that a lot of things online are curated. Everything is curated.
Yeah.
But knowing that like it's not a reflection of you.
Right.
You as a person. It is not a reflection of you. And just being able to like remind yourself that if someone's like, oh, I don't like you, blah blah blah, like leaving like mean comments or something like that, or if someone says like something like about something that you did, just knowing that that's probably a way bigger reflection of them and like their insecurities rather than like it being about you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know if that makes it easier to let anything go, but
yeah,
that's what I try to remind myself.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that like exactly what you're saying is so fucking valid.
And again, it's stuff like we were talking about earlier. It's stuff that's out of your control. Like I can't control someone's opinion of me. Especially like if I try to keep a lot of my content, or at least the way that I present myself, not far from like what I am. Sometimes I am more in like a host mode. Yeah. And sometimes I am more in like a presenter mode, but also it's still like true to who I am. And I feel like you're very similar. Like I said, like even with this podcast, like we're just fucking kicking it, talking about
we're chilling right
whatever. Like and I love that because it is organic and it's just like you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But I just hope that you try not to take it as personal. And remember that that person probably fucking sucks.
Yeah, so. Very true. Very true. Very fucking true. And you know what I think I love about this podcast is that like I get to have such deeper rooted and organic conversations that I was lacking for some reason when I was living in California. Now, I don't know if that's because everybody's in La La Land and everyone's kind of in their own world here. Have you like felt like that since moving here from Canada, that like people are very like all about themselves?
It's hard to make friends in LA.
It's very hard to make deep connections. I feel like it's really easy to make acquaintances and like people that you know because of something else or whatever. It's easy to build a network here, but having actual real friends that'll just come over to your place and kick it is like impossible.
I will say maybe like 25% of that is traffic. Like if you live on the west side or if you live like far on the east side or something, like we're never seeing each other. No. You know what I mean?
Not unless if it's in an event. Yeah.
That's a sad reality of living in a like gigantic city.
Yeah, true.
But also, yeah, I feel like, especially being in the industry. Yeah. Like film industry or anything like adjacent to it, like entertainment industry as a whole. I feel like a lot of people that live here aren't from here. Well, a lot of people you meet are not from here, like true. Originally. So people are trying to like see what you can offer them. Yes. Or see like what use you are to them. Yeah. And I feel like at the beginning of my time here, I'm so Canadian and I feel like I have a heart, like I'm just so like I try to be very open and like friendly to people and I'm too open. and I've definitely been burned, and I've definitely been hurt. And I feel like I've been here 10 years, and I feel like I've gotten way better at sniffing it out, like, super quick, and then being like, okay, noted, you're filed into this, like...
Yeah, into that part of my brain.
I know why you're trying to be friends with me, or you're trying to, like, you know? I can see it.
Yes.
But, yeah, it is hard to have, like, deep connections in LA, like just having people like come over and like let's just like watch a movie or like kick it.
It does
or
not
like,
happen. It doesn't happen here.
Yeah, and it's hard to like go out, like be like, oh, let's grab lunch. It's so expensive.
It is so expensive, and then I gotta fucking park my car.
Yeah, parking. I love how when we got lunch the other day, you are just like me, where like I think if there's this if anyone knows this fucking meme where it's like Nathan Fielder over VO, and he's like, I promise in real life I am very fun and it's so nice to be around. And it's literally a video of someone scrolling through like Google Maps trying to look at the parking for where they're about to go.
Yes. I'm like, how early do I need to arrive to this place to be able to park here?
Yeah. Dude, I had a meeting earlier today, and it was in an area that I'm like not in very often, and I didn't even look at the parking. I'm like, I raw dogged it. I just showed up, and like there was no parking lot.
No.
There was nothing. But by some grace of, I don't know, someone just so happened to be, it was street parking. Someone just left as I was pulling in, and I'm like, this is the best thing that could have happened.
You're like, it's going to be a good day.
Because I would have had to like circle. There was a street closed.
Fuck.
But I feel you though. It is hard to have like deep connections.
It is.
Here for sure.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
In general, not even in LA, like in general.
Girl, let me
Can
tell
we
you,
be real?
The East Coast is fucking great. People come over my house and do game nights at least like once a week.
Oh.
Yeah, we have like a regular game night crew. People hit us up randomly and just come over and watch a movie. We'll go catch movies all the time. Like, yeah. Dude, this has been so much fun. I like fucking hate that I have to wrap this up because I think that like...
Are we okay on time?
It's 7:47 and we have to leave here by 8:30.
Okay. Yep.
So I feel like we have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Low-key, I could just keep going.
Any final thoughts?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
I don't know. I'm just glad that like I feel like we were like 1 degree away. I mean, Colette, basically, but also just in general, like in the automotive space. And yeah, I wish that we would have hung out like way earlier.
Me too.
Because I feel like we would have been getting hot yoga and pizza
way sooner. Circa 2019.
Yeah.
It would have been fine. It took us 5 years.
Oh my God.
Isn't that disgusting?
Oh my God.
That was literally 5 years ago. That's gross.
Crazy.
Now that I think about it out loud.
But I feel like there's also people that like, you know, I know from just being online or like I've seen like similar situations where it's like, oh, you should follow this person, they're great, or like I meet them once at an event and like we're following each other and it's like it seems like we could be friends, but then like we try to talk or something and it's just like the vibe isn't, I don't know,
it's like a little off.
Yeah, I feel like it can definitely be hit or miss, but I felt like just talking to you for like 10 minutes
kicked it off right away.
I was like, you're great, because I mean, let's list the reasons. No, you are just like, you're so easy to talk to, like you're so well spoken, you're just like, it's been great conversation, just kicking it. And
same.
I need to keep reiterating that I just feel like you're just real, like you are just you, and like that's I love that.
How
like
it's
it's great. Like
become about me. I'm so confused. What the fuck? I feel like I need my own camera just to get all my reactions. Oh my God, that's so sweet of you.
It's true though. In a place, and again, it feels like that's like the whole basis for like you starting this podcast, where it's like in a world where everything is so curated and like online, everything is everyone's putting out like their top hits like out of an entire book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to just have something that's just organic and like you don't change yourself for anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice, just like, I just want it to be a good reset for people every week that like they're like, oh, that's right, people are real. There's real people out there, you know what I mean? Because again, just like you said, with like people following you on the internet and then you meet them in real life and you're like, oh my God, you're a real person that like actually knows who I am. Like, I think it's just, the internet's not going anywhere, unfortunately, but fortunately, you know, like, and just it I feel like we need that sometimes to like know that like, okay, like, you know, when I turn this off, like it's okay, and this is like my real life that I also need to focus on.
Do you find it hard to disconnect?
Oof.
Like put down, I mean, obviously with Opal, but like
shout out Opal. You guys want my
that would have been such a good ad spot.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I gave them my referral code in the one episode with Laura. I might pull it up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
To put it at the end of this episode.
But truly, I feel like, yeah, when I look at my screen time, it's a little gross, but also just realizing that, like, if I get bored for a second, like just picking up my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm shuffling between like.
Do you ever look at how many phone pickups you have for the day?
That's a thing?
Oh,
phone
yeah.
Pickups?
Pickups. Let's see how many I have for the day. Let's find out.
I will say I had my tracking off for a long time.
Oh.
Like my screen time, I didn't have it on for a long time.
Why is that? Because you didn't want to know
I don't. None of my business.
Oh, here it goes right here. Pickups. I had 88 total pickups today. My first pickup was at 2:54 this morning. I bet you I checked my phone.
Where is that?
So you go into your like screen time right here.
We're here.
And then you click on see all apps and activity, and then you scroll down and it'll tell you your pickups.
Wait, where's the all apps?
Total screen time. I think it's just down here. There it is. Pickups. How many do you have? 152. Mine's at 88. So like I'm not horrible, but I was on my phone a lot today.
Like if I'm sitting for if I'm sitting for a second and I'm bored, I'm just.
Yep.
You know.
You should download Opal. Did you download it?
I did.
Ooh.
And I disabled it immediately.
No, that's not the point.
No. It's also hard when like, and that's why I asked you, like, is it hard to disconnect because my job is online.
Yeah.
So it's just being able to put yourself in like certain modes where like I'm just mindlessly consuming, or if I'm trying to consume for like a purpose, like if I'm looking for like inspiration for, because I've been shooting more like car cinematic videos, so I like to save things that like, oh, I like this style or I like this shot that they did, like I try to do that, but then it just bleeds into like, oh, now I'm just on reels, and then
yeah, I feel like it's like hard for me to disconnect in the morning. That's my biggest issue, is like as soon as I wake up, if I don't have something that I immediately need to be somewhere at a certain time, I will start scrolling, and that fucks me up for the whole day.
Do you have a way to like break that routine, or do you have anything that you like try to mindfully do to try and not do that, or is
Opal.
It just Opal?
Opal is the secret.
Use code.
I know, yeah. What's my fucking discount code? Hang on.
This is the time.
Here's my little Opal plug right now. My referral code for Opal, by the way, you guys, since we're doing the Opal discount code again, my referral code is 2P922. So if you guys type that in, and I'm also going to leave the link in the description. If you guys type that in when you download, when you download Opal, it'll give you, I think, the pro version of the app for 30 days for free, and also I get a really cool little gem, so you can like boost my little dopamine hit by giving me a new gem. I can get a popular gem if 10 people download it.
How many are you at?
I don't know, maybe 2. But I haven't released the episode with Laura yet, so hopefully people will download it from the
between these two,
yes,
I think you'll get that sick gem.
I think so too. I think it'll be cool. I'll send you a screenshot when I get it.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, Opal helps me a lot, I think, like first thing in the morning of like not picking my phone up, and also like I have to give myself a thing to do, so I try to write out my to-do list for the next day the night before, so that I can immediately wake up and see that.
Yeah, that's smart.
But I feel like with disconnecting, like I've gotten in a habit of like posting and running. Like I'm just like post and fucking send it. I can't control it.
Dude,
Instagram's getting a little fucking crazy, especially with all the AI shit now. Oh my god, don't even fucking get me started. Don't even get me started. I want to do a whole episode on URL versus IRL of AI, because I'm like, that is literal internet versus reality. Like actual internet versus reality. Because like AI is gonna fucking take over the world. I'm so scared. You know, I chat GPT'd myself the other day. Oh. Have you ever chat GPT'd yourself?
I don't think I have.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Let's do this. I'm so excited. Wait, let's find out what ChatGPT says. Ooh. Okay, you guys, so wrapping up here. I'm going to read what we just found out about you on ChatGPT.
I'm curious as to what I find out about me.
Yes. Known by her online alias, OMG, it's Firefox with the double X.
Thank you. Not 30.
Is a prominent Canadian content creator and influencer, particularly known for her presence in the gaming community. She gained significant popularity as a Twitch streamer where she hosts live chats and engages with her community. In addition to her success on Twitch, She has also been recognized for her contributions to the gaming and streaming industries, often highlighted as one of the top female streamers. She has collaborated with other well-known content creators and has been involved in various gaming and esports events. Beyond her gaming persona, she is also an advocate for inclusivity and mental health awareness within the gaming community. How come they didn't talk about your car shit at all?
What the hell?
I'm pissed.
Just be like, does she even drive?
I'm going to ask her. Wait. ChatGPT is about to roast the fuck out of you.
Oh, wow. It's typing a lot.
It's going fast.
Oh, my God.
It's not widely known whether OMG Firefox drives or frequently discusses driving. Her public persona focuses more on gaming, streaming, and her content creation.
I think they literally looked at Wikipedia and then were like, that's it.
Yeah, personal details like her driving habits aren't typically highlighted in her online content.
That's all I do, bitch.
What do you mean? If she's mentioned driving, it would have likely been in passing during streams or vlogs. Would you like to know more about personal interests and professional endeavors?
What the fuck?
We're still going. Let's do yes.
Be like, yeah, check out her Instagram and tell me.
Check out her Instagram.
And give me a synopsis.
What else is it saying? Okay. Wide array of interests beyond gaming and streaming. Here are some aspects of her personal and gaming life. Gaming career. Personally known for her love of video games, also as a central of her career. Streams a variety of games from Minecraft and Overwatch to more indie and story-driven games. They were listening to us. Esports and collaborations, vlogging and lifestyle, advocacy and charity work.
Yeah.
Charity work?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, I've done some stuff before I even started streaming, but online there's a platform called Extra Life.
Okay.
And you can raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So I chose Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
What?
And multiple times, a couple of girls that I used to stream with, we would all like stream together and then try to raise money for children's hospitals. And I think a couple of the times, like we raised, I mean, thousands. But like one of the times, I think we hit collectively like 20,000 or something, and then we all shoved cake in our face as like
God,
a celebratory thing. But I've been to the hospital here a couple times.
Yeah.
Just like the first 2 times were just like going for a tour and like meeting people, and then they have a program called Hollywood Cares for kids. And you can volunteer to like go volunteer at the hospital and like hand out coffee or like bring around a cart that has like hot chocolate for like kids and stuff.
Stop.
It's so sweet. And like I feel like I parrot the same thing about this hospital every time, but like the love and care that they put into like every single nook and cranny, like it's so thoughtful with like the painting that they do and the desks where you go to like talk to the receptionist or low so that kids can go up and like talk to the reception. Oh, like it's really sweet. And a lot of the funds that they get too help go to the families to alleviate like financial pressure, like if they're feeling from hospital bills or like anything like transportation and stuff like that. They do a lot. So and Extra Life makes it so easy to like raise money. Like it just connects right with Twitch and like the alerts are there and everything. So if you're streaming on Twitch, Extra Life, it's such a good way to raise money.
Oh my God,
genuinely.
Stop.
Before I started streaming, to make a long story short, I was in the foster care system. And when I got out of the foster care system, there was a lot of things that I was not happy with.
Whoa.
And that I experienced that I didn't want anyone to experience ever again. So I started to work with a provincial advocate in Toronto. And he was basically gaining stories from children all across Ontario and getting their experiences, putting it together in one book called My Real Life Book. So if you guys look it up, it's called My Real Life Book.
So on brand.
And we collected children in foster care's experiences and put it into a book, and then had proposed changes to legislation to make changes that would benefit kids. Like when you turn 18, basically you can just be kicked out and you lose all of your healthcare benefits, you lose dental benefits, you lose like all of your support. So we advocated to change it to, I think it was 21 or 25.
Wow.
And there was like a lot of like little like legalities and legislation, provisions that we were trying to get. Like we went to legislator, and we were talking in front of like MPs and MPPs and people who could like actually change laws and like make decisions, and we brought the book to them, and we like told our stories and like shared our experiences and tried to advocate for changes for youth in foster care. And I think nationally we ended up making oh my god, I'm gonna forget the day, I think it's in May or April, National Youth and Care Day. We got that passed, which was really cool. And I'm trying to think of what other laws actually got passed from that, but I think they're still continuing with their work now, which is amazing. But, and I ended up working at the foster care, like the Children's Aid Society that I was involved in. Like,
what?
I worked there for, I think, 2 summers, and I helped create youth programs just to, because I felt so isolated, because I was just like, I wasn't allowed to like go hang out for someone, like I couldn't have a sleepover unless they had a background check, like a police check. Like, there was a lot. So I was just kind of in my own, and the foster home that I stayed the longest in, it was on a reservation, and which was like kind of far out from the city. So I was like a little removed from just like going to hang out with people. So I wanted to make youth groups where kids could just connect with other foster youth who like kind of understand what they're going through. So I created like a sailing group. We took all the kids sailing. We did laser tag, like mini golf, stuff like that, bowling. I just wanted to create like some kind of sense of community. I created like financial literacy courses, because like some of them didn't even have like bank accounts or anything. And like,
oh my god,
I just tried to do my best out there for like, you know, I didn't want people to experience the same things that I had to experience. So just trying to like leave a place a little better than how I left it. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
I feel, and there's like a twinge of guilt now that like I have such a large platform and I'm not nearly as involved as I have been. So actually because I talked a little bit about this on the Millhouse podcast, and after that I immediately emailed Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Wow. Because
I was like, I need to get back like doing something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like having a platform and having a community and having people around you that can make changes and make decisions, or like help fund something or support causes and stuff. I think it's a crime if you don't like try and just help
in some way,
something, a cause that you're like passionate about, or just something that like the foster care situation where I don't want people to experience that. Yeah. Or even like, I love animals. Like, I'll support,
it did mention, you know, that you love animals. I didn't get to
read
that part. Yeah, it did. It said traveling in animals.
It knows. But I think it's important to try to give back to your community, or try to just like make things a little better, because I don't know, it's tough out there on these streets.
Oh my gosh.
And if you can just help alleviate pressure on someone else, or someone who's having a way shittier time than you, if you can just help like a little 2% in any way possible, I think it pays dividends, and I think it pays forward, and I think that people, you know, appreciate it, and maybe they won't be as bitter, or they will come out better out of a situation. And I think it just lifts, you know, rising tide lifts all ships, you know, so you help bring everybody up.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. I can't believe I didn't know any of that. I mean, again, I didn't fucking look you up.
Yeah,
like, I didn't like research you.
That was also like the Twitch fundraising. I think that was like 2015 or so. So it was a while ago too. Yeah. So I don't know if it would have came up on ChatGPT normally, but I don't know.
Wow. But holy shit, dude. Everything that you just said is so important, and I really hope that that's what like drives home most about this, if people made it to the end of this podcast, to be honest. Because that's incredible. Especially like, I think so many people, unfortunately, when they hear like the word influencer, or they see somebody with like a large following, they're just like, think that this person is like self-obsessed. And like, finally we have an influencer that is not self-obsessed.
I'm a little bit. No, kidding.
Stop. No, seriously, like, you're very selfless. You're super selfless. I feel like that was like one of the very first things that I like recognized about you.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Girl, we fucking went to lunch, and then you were like, do you want to do a podcast while you're here? And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have time. And then you were like, I can drive you to the airport if you want to like do the podcast right beforehand. And I was like, literally, what? Okay. Yeah, please.
I will be the airport friend. I'm like, I don't fucking, I'm chilling. I love driving. I don't know.
You're the fucking best. Thank you so much for coming on URL versus IRL. You're the best.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you publicly. I would love to do a part 2 with you so we can talk about all the stuff that you just talked about in the ending of this.
Yes.
Because I feel like we can dive super deep. So as soon as I'm back in California, we'll be right back here.
Part 2.
All right, let's roll that outro music. I'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Are you fucking kidding me? No way. All right, talk to you soon on the next URL versus IRL.